our guest speaker today is Mr. Gale, the connector. Tell me out. Thank you. So I'm going to have to read his bio because his career is so impressive. He is a certified professional networker. He's an author of Connection Contacts to Clients. He's a motivational speaker. He's a certified health and wellness education coach. He's an education director for BNI. That's him. And he's a columnist for the Small Business Today magazine and my fraternity brother. Thank you for coming. So let's give it up for
And thank you, Carlo. Carlo asked me if I would speak to the group, and I agreed. He sent out a notice, and it said Gail Stoltenberg is going to be speaking on wellness and wealth and wisdom. So, that is my topic this evening. Maybe just a little bit more on my background. I've been blessed with the opportunity to do a number of things. Can you folks see okay? Okay, all right. Get back a little bit. But I've had a lot of fun, and I've had an opportunity to meet a lot of people all over the world. I've been involved in a lot of activities that involve health. My hobby was the sport of judo, and I got to compete as an athlete and was a coach and was an international referee, and I served on the national governing body for the sport of judo, and I represented judo on the Olympic committee, and just had a whole lot of fun in that area. But let's go ahead and move forward here. I got to the end. Oh, no, I think we got it. So let me ask you, when we're talking about wellness and health, how do you define health? Anybody?
when all your body parts work fine.
That's right. When everything is working together fine, that is someone that is nearing optimum health. There's a few other things that are involved. There is the physical, mental, environment type aspects. There's also the social aspect and the spiritual. So, Carla didn't want me to speak on all of these items, so I'm just picking out a couple items in each one of the three different areas. So, let me ask you, what causes, Dale Dibble probably knows the answer to this, what causes pain in the back?
Posture.
Inflammation.
What caused the inflammation?
Huh? Oh, posture.
You got it. The answer is posture. And sitting is one of the places. Normally when we get the answer posture, we see everybody kind of sit up a little bit straighter, improve their posture a little bit. But one of the things about sitting is that chairs are made kind of like a spoon, okay? And they push your shoulders forward, and they make you move down so that you're not breathing in the lower part of your lungs. So there's a lot of detriments to these things. And when you get in your automobile, you got the same situation. If you look at that, when you go in the airplane, on the airline, they're very nice. And they make the chair that forces you to be in that position. So eventually, your body thinks that that's the position that we're supposed to stay in. And if you watch most people, when they're sitting, they sit kind of in a slump type position. Now, you end up with, in many cases, hitting a hump on your back, and you may end up leaning more forward, leaning more forward, leaning more forward. You've seen some people that are like that. So the cure is stretching and exercise. And your first gift, I'm going to give you a number of gifts this evening. Carl is going to allow me to send out a one-time message to you with the gifts. And that is going to be a video that shows you all the stretches that I personally do, and see if they will be beneficial to you. Your gut is your second brain. Hippocrates says all disease begins in the gut. Most people don't realize that that gastronomical length is about 25 to 30 feet long, where we go through and we do things like preventing infection and regulating metabolism and also hormone production. My next gift to you is going to be a copy of a book. That's an e-book, and it's called Gut Matters. Now, my name's on the book, but most of the work is done by a physician who's a specialist in nutrition and digestion and all of those types of things. Another area that there's a lot of concern about is stress. Now, everybody has stress. We can't get rid of stress, but we can learn some things that will help us in stress. So, back up there. One of the things that people do is they listen to music, they go for walks, they do a little bit of meditation. There's a variety of things that we can do to try to reduce the stress. One thing that I do every day is called tapping meditation. Have any of you heard of tapping meditation? One person has heard of tapping. Now, you know about the meridians that run up and down your body, the acupuncturists work on those meridians. You have those same meridians in your head. And so when we tap on the eyebrows, or the side of the eye, or underneath the eye, or under the nose, or under the mouth, on the chest, under the arm, on top. There's over 3 million people that are doing those funny type movements every day, and stress is reduced 43%. 43% in the first week if you do these tapping exercises. So that's the next gift I will give to you, is a link to an app at no cost to you that will show you how to do these tapping exercises. I raised his hand, and the reason that he raised his hand a while ago is that he does those tapping exercises every single day. You can see how stressed out he looks. Okay, that covers the health aspect. Let's talk a little bit about, well, Howard Partridge is the exclusive international vice president of sales for the Zig Ziglar Corporation. When Zig Ziglar had his stroke and knew that he may not be around much longer, he had a consultant come in and tell him what he ought to do with his company. And the consultant says he ought to focus on small business. Well, he did a lot of work in the marketing and the sales and the leadership and the motivation and all of those things. By the way, the best book that Zig Ziglar wrote is called Courtship and Marriage. Courtship after marriage.
Really?
And he talks about his life with the redhead and so on. I've got an autographed copy from him back when I used to attend a lot of his sessions there. But in order to pick somebody else to help him out, he chose Howard Partridge. Howard is local. He lives actually in Sugar Land here, but he's got another home in Destin, and he's got a number of different companies and so on. But that is what they focus on. And he says all business and life is about building relationships. Would you guys agree with me that that's the situation there? Okay. That's a lot more than money. So, missing on the slides, we'll just talk about it. So, one of the things that the founders of the Houston Rotary here had to do was to start building some relationships in order to get the club organized. And the real question is, how do you go about running to build relationships? Well, let me ask you a question. How does your dog know when you're going to give them a bath? Now dogs spend their time eating and sleeping and playing and watching you. And they learn your mannerisms. And they learn your words. And when you say, let's get the dog a bath, they dive underneath the couch. Kids are the same way. They study their mother, and they know when she's in a good mood, so they can ask for a cookie. You and I are the same way. There are certain words, when we're talking to people, certain words that people say that raise the red flag. Would you like to know what those words are? I, me, mine, we, us, our. When you're talking about yourself, you all have been to a lot of different networking meetings and so on, and people stand up and they talk, they introduce themselves. And what you hear is I, my company, and our stuff, and so on. You want to stop talking about yourself. So how do you do that? Would it be okay if I gave you an example? Do you know how most people have a difficulty introducing themselves? Well, some people know the magic words that keep the conversation going. Do you know how? Creates curiosity, right? I just found out. You don't know. Most people. Carlo, are you part of most people? I guess so. So we've had curiosity, and now we've got inclusion. You're now part of my conversation. And then we introduce the problem. You know, when people have a difficulty introducing themselves, if you have a problem, we have to have a solution. The solution is, some people know the magic words that keep the conversation going. When you say that, Amir, what are you going to ask next? Some people know the magic words that keep the conversation going.
Right.
What are you going to ask next?
Well, the same subject, I'm thinking of.
What are those magic words, right? Now, we're here, all these folks networking and so on, and it takes a few minutes to tell you about it, so would it be okay if we just got together tomorrow for coffee and see how we can help each other's business? All you want is the appointment. You never ever try to sell things in a networking environment. All you want to do is to build value and to get the appointment. Okay. So, the next step, this is an audience participation thing. I'll run through it one more time. Do you know how most people, and you put your verbiage in there, I said most people have difficulty with such and such. Yours might be, most people don't understand how to fix a computer. Then you can come back and say, well, here is the solution. So, we're paired up here. There's 6 people at this table, so if you'll pair with the person behind you, Dave, come here, you're there. And you two guys are great today. If you'll pair with this guy sitting across from you, and you two will pair, we'll take just a couple minutes, introduce yourself without saying, I, me, mine, we, us, our. And you don't have to use my exact words, but you can try, okay?
Without saying that.
Here we go. Soft, this is
You lost already. I got you. Did I hear you say you wanted to go? Oh, okay. I mean, I guess according to Expo, I say that was sure.
Companies have a booth and they're marketing their product or service. And when you hire people to make that happen, you are very qualified leaders.
Oh, for real? And what is the rate?
That's up to you. I would get you comfortable. I know the right questions. Who, what, when, where. Go.
Talk about Willis.
I want to, and I want to always have
Okay, folks.
Very
It's
sure.
tough when you start networking in there. You get tied up. Did anybody accomplish
Yes.
See, the corporate structure tells you to talk about how great the company is, how great the products are, how great they are, and it's tough to get away from that. But here's the problem. And I hate to break the news to you, but people don't really care about you. They care about 2 things. One is if you can provide a solution for a problem, and 2, if you can help them increase their income some way. So, as soon as somebody starts talking about themselves, people shut down. Now, they're still saying, they're not there yet, but they're looking over your shoulder for the next person they're going to meet. Next time you give your introduction at a networking meeting or wherever, see if you can eliminate those words, and you'll see the difference in the attention that people pay to you, as opposed to when you're bragging about your product. So, and I apologize about the pictures. All of these slides had a number of pictures and so on. They're not showing up on there, but we'll get through without that. Don't worry about that. So the next area is wisdom.
Can
Yeah,
you give an example of how you would introduce yourself?
I'm sorry,
An example of how you would introduce yourself?
I just did it. I'm in a networking meeting and I say, you know how when people have a problem introducing themselves? Well, some people know magic words to keep the conversation going. Now, I know you like to learn those magic words.
Oh, so you remember
So,
your name.
yeah.
Thinking it's more
Yeah.
like.
Does that help you?
We start a conversation.
Yeah, if you're, yeah.
So all you gotta do is
I
just
didn't
put,
pick
without
up on
saying
that.
my
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
just
yeah.
fill in the blanks, you just put your problems and your
I didn't
solutions.
go with that. Thank you.
So, where do you learn things from?
Your mom and dad.
Your parents. And
School, books you read.
school. You learn things from books, you learn things from listening to audios, and you learn things from
Your associates.
meeting people. Associates. Okay? So,
Except for Eric.
I understand, there's some that you cross. One of the things that,
Be nice.
doesn't show up on here is a picture of the individuals that I consider as mentors. Okay? These are a number of people that have helped me during my life. It started, back with Jim Rohn. Many of you never, now you remember Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was the godfather of business philosophy and networking and so forth. And all of the people that we know, the Brian Tracy's and the Mark Victor Hansen and the Jack Canfields and all of the famous speakers all learned from him. So, years ago I had a company that, sold memberships and you got to come to listen to some of these people speak. Jim Rohn was one of those people that, I had speaking. Now, how do you find a mentor? Well, let me ask you a question. How many of you have mentors? It's several, huh? Yeah. Somebody that you actually consider a mentor. And do you think Michael Jackson became successful without a coach? Any of the athletes, any of successful business people, they need somebody they follow. They need somebody that holds them accountable to do what they're trying. So how do you find that person? Well, you want to find somebody that is doing what you want to do, but they started further back in their life than you are right now. So they had more of a distance to go. Take a millionaire to lunch. You've heard that expression. It's lonely at the top. You're gonna take that guy out, feed him lunch. I was at a networking group a while back, and I asked people to take out their phone and look on there and see how many millionaires they knew. One guy said, I think I've got one. I'm encouraging you to find people that they're willing to help you. And the reason they're willing to help you is not that you come and say, will you help me? But you find out what their charities are or what their hobbies are, and you get involved in the charity. You start by helping them. It always begins with helping the other person. Okay? Then they're more liable to be able to help you. I've got about 50 millionaires that are mentors of mine. Let me tell you, it's fantastic when you can pull up that cell phone and dial somebody and get an answer right away to a problem. That's why the mastermind works so well. So, let me shut it down here with asking if you've got any questions presentation again with all the pictures and everything on there, and I'll send you a copy of that so that you'll get everything that hopefully you will get. Any questions over what we covered? Are we still okay on time?
Yes.
Okay.
So how do you find a mentor?
I'm sorry?
How do you find a mentor?
Well, as I was saying, you find someone that's doing what you want to do, and you find somebody that had a harder path to get there than what you're going through, and that's the individual. That's why we got Google and we got Chat GPT. You go on there and you say, I want to find this kind of a person. And they'll do it for you. Does that help you?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about if you want to be a mentor?
I'm sorry?
How do you become a mentor?
Well, there's a difference between a mentor and a coach. The coach tells you to do push-ups, right? Okay. The mentor might suggest to you ways that you can improve things, do things better, or whatever, give you suggestions and so on, but he doesn't say, you gotta do 10 push-ups, kind of thing. He's there for accountability, he or she, there for accountability. And that's what you're looking for, is someone that can give you the accountability. So, what I think you'll find is when you become successful in an area, people will come to you, and you will become the mentor. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Right
that.
off for being here. Thank you so much. Please, let me just.
Don't push the button.
Don't push the button.
Oh, don't push the button. He's the boss.
He is the boss.
Doesn't believe that. Okay, so, Gil, just wanted to give a big thank you for coming today. Here is a certificate of appreciation for you, which is empty. No, it's not. No, because I know what I'm doing. Thank you. And please take this book with you. It's the Rotary Book of Reading.